So to me, if you fit in the society and you're considered as someone that could get along well with other people and fit in the standardized life, then you're considered emotionally well. But a lot of these things, again, it's very personal, very private. So again, you can't really tell except you really delve into someone's private life and how they really feel about certain things to be able to see a well-rounded emotional being of a person. And how important, I think, again, I would like to talk about it in the private life and the public life. I think in the public life, you know, because we don't really deal with it as much, we don't really ask people, you know, go up to, hey, how are you doing emotionally today? So I think in the public life, it's often something that's quite hidden. But in the private life, I think individuals' well-being is very, very important that way, because only if you're emotionally well could you go out to the public and be a good or like a well citizen of a society. So I do think it's very, very important. I struggle a lot with, I wouldn't really maybe call it depression, but like depressed mentality, depressed mindset. I've gone through some times when I was, you know, unsure of things, and I'm sure a lot of people go through that. Especially in the summer, I felt stuck in this, you know, internship and really struggling with finances and really not be able to talk to friends about it because a lot of my friends are working and they're doing really okay financially. And then I have friends who are students who are supported by the family. And then for me, it's a different case because I don't get support from my family. And I guess in terms of my personality, I don't usually go very deep with people about how I'm feeling emotionally. So that was a part of my depressedness on top of my internal depression. And work-life balance for sure, because you know, I came to the GBJ program wanting to gain a more practical, more hands-on experience. So to me, I needed to really blend work with this program in order for me to get the most out of it. But also school is quite time-consuming, and also working in CBD, you know, the travel and everything. So that's very difficult, the time issue, and also the focus. It's difficult to really make sure everything's well. Time is well allotted for everything. Honestly, I think time will heal. Talking to people works for that moment, but it's something that you have very internally, very innately. So speaking to people when they don't really relate, you feel like you're putting extra stress on them. And then if you don't talk to people, you feel like you're being very close and you aren't sharing as much as you would like to with people that you feel quite close to. Like being able to handle stress. I think it's more being able to deal with it. I think it's okay to be under pressure. And Chinese students is sort of like, if you're under pressure, if you can't cope with it, you're like the weaker one. And you're not really outspoken about your emotional well-being. I think that's the case for Chinese students, but I think in the West, or for us who grew up or like spent some time in the West, we know it's okay, or encouraged by the society to talk about emotional stress or issues. So that's sort of my understanding. I have not heard of that. My previous school, my undergrad, was McGill University in Canada, and I think, yeah, I do think that McGill really emphasized on the emotional being because it's a very cold city, and in the winter it gets really dark early, and with the academic stress, a lot of people go through similar kind of, again, I don't call it depression, it's like depressed state. And we had these like night lines that people would just be like on and on about, like calling student volunteers or like certified counselors, and these stickers would be everywhere, like in the bathrooms, in the library, cells, like on the door, like they're everywhere. I think think I would like to. I think it would be very different if we could talk about emotional wellness in this, on the street in school, and you see banners and things everywhere. But I'm not sure that's something that the school will really put resources into for the time being. Maybe this could be something the students could work more on, because peer support is definitely a great, I think a more useful, helpful way than compared to going to an institution and going to like a room with like an older professor, a counselor, speaking to someone that knows not much about your life, or it doesn't really relate to you because they have a different lifestyle. Sometimes you just need people to understand you. Sometimes you just need people to be able to speak to you or say that, hey, I resonate with what you feel, and that would, I think, in a very subtle way help you with your depression or depressed mindset. So I think something that includes like just whatever happy time together, less focus on academics, or just sort of like take you away from the academic stress on campus. I think that would be good. Yeah, I think those are all the questions for now.